Episode 2, Chapter 5. Where is my
How
mother?
many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
Yep.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You'll find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Let me know if my sound is good. The sound levels. I haven't changed anything, but you never know with these systems.
Monsieur de Richet, do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments, but I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. I'm afraid she was
like
brutally murdered.
You can see like the mic over here kind of like coming in and out. Okay, that's better. Okay. I think he's immune to questioning. I feel like he's immune to almost everything, right? But I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna cost me anything.
Who could have done it?
That is precisely what I would like you to help us determine, Louis. Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you. We are told you turned her away, and she went away on her own.
Exactly.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
Well, she did seem confused, but I don't know.
She seemed upset about something. I thought she was under the influence of alcohol, but we didn't really speak.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until tomorrow.
Apparently not.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
Okay.
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this.
Welcome to the stream, everyone.
And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do we have any suspects?
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi.
So they're clear.
So I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe.
Watch it be George Washington. Either him or it's gonna be somebody else. But I think my suspicion is George Washington. Any details?
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
All right,
Right.
let's go.
I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis.
Let's go.
Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms.
Oh, I'm in everybody's room
They'll
now.
be notified and they agree.
I'm in everybody's room. Look at him. He's dropping up here. Okay, so oh, we're full. What does Carmelite water do? I don't know what these things do. Okay, Carmelite water. Next skill use is free. Oh, bet. Okay, I'm gonna start using that too. Let's see if I can use it right now. Where were you last night, sir?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
Oh, no, I didn't. I know I didn't. I need to go. I ain't got
listening, Louis.
I ain't got nothing for you. I have a culprit.
I'll
Not
be
yet.
in touch as soon as
Not
I have
yet.
any more information.
I don't have a culprit yet. I could just say George Washington though, just because I don't like him.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
He
last
better not
night?
come knocking at my door or it's a wrap
saw
for him.
the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Do you know why he was
Not
over
to
there?
worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging
I
around
used
the
Devil
room like
Thorn
that?
without even.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost.
Not just
But I
lost,
don't
she was out of
think
her
he got a
mind.
very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. One last thing. You must know that Peru hit young Adams on the evening of our arrival.
That's why she had a black eye.
Apparently violently attacked her in the small salon.
Do you know anything else about the attack?
Oh, unfortunately not. I arrived too late to intervene. Young Miss Adams had already been submitted to the foul louse rat. Otherwise, you can believe me, it would not have happened.
Don't lie to me. I bet he wouldn't have jumped in at all. All right, let's go. Time to go searching everybody's rooms. Actually, I did.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Actually, let me go to Elizabeth's room first. Oh, who you? Have I met him before?
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Vulner.
Oh, it is
Are you
him.
looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
I no.
Oh,
no,
you're looking a little bit suspicious out
nothing
here.
special.
I'd have
Yeah.
thought this is not really the shortest way to get to your suite.
Yes, I wasn't really looking where I was going. I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
I caught you red-handed. All right, let's go in here. Oh, she's still laying there.
dear Elizabeth.
Okay, I think I've read those the first time.
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime.
3:54.
That would clear Emily de facto because she was still with me at the time.
You a lie. You went to sleep.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here?
Examine the symbol. Oh, I got 3 points. Logic, occultism. Let me do these first, and then
I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange.
Facts. Okay.
A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil.
And then
many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
All right.
A notebook written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
Okay. My linguistics coming in handy right here.
It looks like a mixture of medieval Latin and Anglo-Norman. It is difficult to make sense of this jerky writing. I can make out some passages, though. He's coming. The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
Huh.
A novel of the initiation of a young woman into polite society.
Psychology, she was immune to
June
that.
11th.
Okay, I think I read these last time also. Oh, that was a pistol.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
Take it with you.
It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently.
Grip.
There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there.
The gun my mom had in the flashback?
Engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France.
Oh, snap. There's only 2 French people here. Right? Yeah. There's Napoleon and Jacques Peroux.
Right. I shall have to find its owner.
I got you now, French boy. Okay. What's over here?
Vials of laudanum.
Science. Why?
The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
George Washington? Devil's... Huh.
Blood spatter indicates that the murder must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Jacques Peroux is looking more like you every day.
Knocked over a bottle of wine. What kind of plonk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Briand. It's a great wine. I don't know what's happening.
Wait, what does that
wine,
red mark mean again?
It's undrinkable.
Is that... Intoxicated. Dialogue. How does he get that from sniffing? You know what? No, we're not doing that today.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh.
The
lower
handle.
part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
So it's probably, she probably held onto it, right?
The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand. Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru?
What?
Washington, maybe.
George Washington, let me go see your boots. Yeah. What's that? Blood?
Poor girl bled to death.
Oh, never mind. I clicked on that already, I think.
Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Oh yeah, I'm about to go search their rooms now. Okay, last thing. Eyes are bloodshot. Did she get stabbed? She had to have gotten stabbed. What am I talking about? There's a lot of blood. Okay.
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs.
Oh, look at those feet.
More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body. The direction of the blood streaks caused by the wounds to the thorax show that she was standing when she lost blood. This proves that she was standing when she was assassinated, possibly held by someone or something.
Hold on, wait. I chose detective as my class, right? So this is perfect for me, right? It's perfect.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Oh yeah, look at that. My vigilance and everything. I wish my science was up though.
Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin.
Ew.
Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Observe the wounds.
Looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth.
So he came up behind her, heamed her up, went this way. Look, what's detective? You always start from the bottom up when you're examining.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Some slits on the wrist. Okay, I can.
She had the Sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age.
Listen, I'm gonna get cocky all I
Unless
want
her
though.
Mother
That's all I'm
was a
saying.
tutor.
If I'm getting it right, then
Ancient
I have all
Greek.
right to be
See
cocky.
what it means. These are sacred chants intended to protect their bearer. But from whom? Or from what? Scarring. Ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
Alright,
No
check the
wounds,
hands.
but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. No marks or bruising around the wrists. It doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force. This pinnacle is a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle.
Just imagine if I went into politics. I wouldn't be able to get any of this.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture.
I mean, she did tell you that
She
your mama
also
did it.
has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. She bled from the nose.
A little.
There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. What a strange smell.
I know that smell. It's
Laudanum.
Yep, laudanum.
Certain courtiers use it to get drunk. If taken in large quantities, it can provoke fits of madness.
Maybe that's how she was tweaking last night.
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America.
Oh, I thought it said
Wonder
take
if
one.
Washington's involved.
Okay. And okay. All right. I think oh, never mind. What's
Piece of
this?
fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
The logic, etiquette. I'm going
Color
logic.
doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. Why the
snap.
hell did she come into this room?
Wait, so don't tell me my mama was involved in this. I'm trying to find her and clear her name, and she out here running amok. All right, I think I'm done in here. Let's see.
Has finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
Okay.
You are welcome, sir. As I've finished with
I
this
know
one-
enough now.
I'm out.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be.
Let me
I
out.
shall guard the door.
Let me out. All right, there we go. All right. Time to go snooping.
President George Washington.
Oh yeah, I'm in here. Where your boots at, man?
A map of Vermont.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage.
I went into the first room that I saw.
I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built
First room I
together.
saw was his.
I look forward to seeing you soon.
I think the
Your
game trying to
friend,
set me up to make it seem like it's him. Say up that's the quickest access to her room also. And if the time of death is correct, like he think it is, 3:54 a.m., then obviously it could be him because he left the party a little after midnight. You ain't slick, George. You're not slick. I'm on to you.
Looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Politics. I don't care. I don't deal in politics. I'm a logical thinker. I make my own rules up out here.
Portrait of George Washington.
That looks nothing like him. Oh, jelly. Can we go here? Nope. What's these?
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
What's... Let's see. That, okay. Well, I know that there's a Carmelite water in here. George, talk to me.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Because you're
Lord
guilty.
Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Oh yeah, the laudanum.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took
There was
laudanum?
another choice.
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then.
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Okay, okay.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
Yep.
No, I didn't.
That's what I was gonna say.
And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered.
You wanted to snoop through her room. You're not getting away with that.
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry.
Didn't he want to snoop through her room?
What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Try to get me to be an accomplice. Next skill is free.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night, you can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Okay. You know what? I'm a believe him.
Do you know why she came to the island?
I'm gonna believe him only because that note on his desk.
Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her. It would appear that she wasn't invited to the conference.
That doesn't surprise me. The poor girl was in no way concerned by our business, and she had no political clout.
So, I don't understand why Sir Gregory invited her during the conference of his good friend Lord Mortimer. He must have realized that he wouldn't have much time to grant her. Preparing a conference does not seem an easy task. On the evening of our arrival, Lord Mortimer didn't even welcome us, what with his being so busy and all.
Yes, you're right, Louis. I didn't think of that. It is indeed rather
Detective
surprising.
skills on 100.
The easiest thing to do is simply ask him, you know.
Of course.
Oh no, I plan on it. Oh yeah, what
Mr.
size shoe
President,
you wear?
We found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot.
Okay.
A large size,
You lucky.
I'd say.
Perfect.
You're lucky.
That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
You're lucky. I didn't even look at your shoes, but you're lucky. Okay.
Looks like a note between
This is the note that I was
Emily
talking
and Washington about
which
trade deals.
Makes a statement about talking to Emily true, but this is how you can tell Louis' bedroom game is weak. She still had time to come in here and talk to the George Washington. He need to work on that. Hey, Emily still had the energy to come in here.
Hey, a Russian ruble.
Talk to George
What would it
Washington.
be worth today? Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Emily, you get some
King
rest
George
from last
III
night?
in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess. Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice. A fragment of amber.
Dear E, I received your last letter.
E,
Unfortunately,
her
the
sister,
Crown informed
right?
the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours.
Why are you saying wow?
P.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Alright,
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds. Painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband.
what's this?
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language and all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
Yep, a little bit of it.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit.
Listen, I'm
Next
just
time you
saying.
speak with Her Majesty the Queen.
She
would you
put this
please
man
be
to
so
bed
kind
and
as to
still had
ask
the
her
energy to
look
go
into my petition to
talk
raise taxes
business.
for the King.
Obviously,
I will
he didn't do
personally
something
see to
right.
it that our nation will recover
That's all
from
I'm
this
saying.
impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain.
A pound.
Duchess, you can inform King George of the Holy Father's backing. We shall assist you with financing the recruitment of regiments and immigrant royalists to fight against France. Your friend, His Eminence Giuseppe Piaggi. I forgot his first name is Giuseppe.
2 coils circle the lock.
Unlock. You know what? I don't use these, so I'm gonna just use it right now. I might need it for later, but I don't know. You know. I'm gonna save a couple of them.
Thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer. It will be more difficult to approach him. Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous.
Face is
As
getting a
for
little
Sarah
dark.
Richet, what more is there to say? You already know each other. She was apparently invited by Lord Mortimer about an ongoing matter in Paris that concerns a receiver in stolen art. See you soon. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Alright.
Alright. I've retrieved everything.
Hold on. I might need to turn this this light on.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now.
15 years?
Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately.
Alright, that looks
For
a little better.
As agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
Ooh. I'm trying to get it so it's not like freaking out up in the camera frame. I guess that's good enough. Hopefully you can still hear me good.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
Ooh, I'm searching it.
The Devil's Thorn. To be used to uncover the best disguised traits. The Devil's Thorn. To be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
What up, boo? Your back feeling okay? Do you stretches?
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Do I need to move my camera over a little
God,
bit?
Louis.
Does it
How
cover up the
The
subtitles?
murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Make her speak about the night of the murder.
Since your arrival, did you notice anything strange about Elizabeth?
Everything that happened around that poor child was strange. You saw that for yourself.
I know. You're right. I'm looking for leads to try to reduce the number of suspects.
Well, I would say that in addition to ourselves, you could also cross off President Washington. I went to see him during the night. I had some business with him, and I can confirm that he didn't leave his room all night.
That gives Washington an alibi.
Okay.
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
So yeah, okay, so Washington is off the list.
I
Emily
didn't take much interest
off the
in
list.
her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
Correspondence with Piaget. Speak to her about the piece of fabric.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's...
Don't say
I don't
it.
have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily.
Oh yeah, don't give her nothing.
We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Don't
Keep
dare
up
say
your
it.
courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
Nah,
What you say is true, Emily. I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject.
listen. If my vision is correct, my mom only got
Thank you
one
for answering my
hand,
questions.
See you, Louis.
and if she only has one hand, then she's not capable of killing Elizabeth. That's all I'm saying.